And welcome back to a lazy Friday afternoon with Who Would Win. And today's Who Would Win comes to us from Michael Bell. Asked the question, who would win a fight? If I got this, Matthew Cordell, also known as Maniac Cop. That's how it'll be. I'm just going to say Matthew Cordell, Maniac Cop in the title. Versus Michael Myers. So Cordell, the Maniac Cop series, I believe I've used him once before. I actually never watched this series, this trilogy of films. But essentially, he is a cop who was a good person overall, but was very violent and overly brutal when it came to enforcing the law and criminals. That said, he ended up getting killed and coming back for revenge. And basically as a supernatural kind of Jason-esque entity, Michael Myers entity, that kind of thing, which is why I'm guessing they're being pushed up. Someone asked me to put them together. And his powers include superhuman attributes, including near invulnerability, immortality, pain immunity, murdering skills, police weapon usage, teleportation is possible, limit intimidation, stealth, intelligence and planning, leadership, and other police skills, police fighting skills. In terms of what he actually, is capable of doing, again, admittedly, I am not very well versed on this character. I mean, going by the pardon. There we go. Going by like what we can tell he does in the series from the little I've seen, he is an expert with police weapons. Because here's the thing: unlike someone like Michael Myers or a Jason, his intelligence doesn't, he seems to be blinded by a lot of rage and anger, but his intelligence doesn't seem to be hindered. He still makes perfect use of fire weapons, a lot of firearms, weaponry, but he also has like his billy club. He's near invulnerable. They made 3 movies, so he has nigh invulnerability. Looking at how he dies in all 3 of these, we can kind of gauge how durable he really is. So in the first Maniac Cop, let's see here. In the first one, the truck, he's in a truck fighting someone. Jake knocks the gun away from the murders. A character named Jack walks it away, punched by a super strong undead Cordell. The police siren is heard. Cordell gets back into the police van and attempts to drive away. Jack jumps on and attempts to stop him from escaping. While driving radically on a pier, the van runs into a suspended tube that crashes through the windshield and pierces Cordell through the chest. This didn't kill him, but the truck Cordell and Jack fly out the end of the dock and crash into water. A little later, while Jack and Theresa watch, the paddy wagon is pulled from the water by a police salvage team, but Cordell's not inside. Unseen down in the water a short distance away, Cordell's hand comes out. Now he survives this. He does survive basically a crash into the water, doesn't drown, so clearly he doesn't need to breathe or anything like that. So he can survive something like that. In the second one, he later is buried. The real intention all along, Cordell engaged at this, stabs Cordell with his baton. They both fall through the wall, land on an exploding prison bus. Okay, so basically he stabs Cordell with his baton. Oh, okay. So, yeah, apparently Cordell gets stabbed with a baton. Not an easy thing to do, seeing as that's a blunt object. And he literally takes a fall into an exploding prison bus, killing them both. Sometime later, Cordell is buried with full honors alongside other fallen officers. Two of the few attendees to his funeral being Susan and McKinney. Again, I'm just naming names here. These are people in the movies. As Cordell's casket is lowered, McKinney throws Cordell's badge into the grave and leaves Susan giving a monologue about how there's a little bit of Cordell in every officer and that every member of the force needs to rise above becoming a Maniac Cop. Before the credits roll, Cordell's hands bust through the lid of his casket and grabs his badge, foreshadowing that he will return, which obviously he did in the third one. So he survived an explosion, fire, and impalement all within the span of about 10 to 15 seconds. So, okay, that's pretty durable. Then we go into Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence. Now, going into the end of that film, at gunpoint, Cordell forces Hooligan to attempt to resurrect a person, but he is unable to do so, stating that her spirit is refusing to return from the dead to be with him. Cordell kills Hogan and both he and Kate are set on fire in the process, and she is immolated. As they escape, Susan and McKinney are chased by Cordell, who survived a fire while remaining ablaze. So he's basically now chasing someone down, fully on fire. Similar to how Michael Myers did it in the second movie. As they escape, Susan, he chases them in a beat-up police car while they ride in an ambulance. They manage to throw an oxygen tank into the burning car, so he's still driving a car while he's on fire. That just reminds me of the line from Spy, which Melissa McCarthy and Jason Statham say, and I drove a car on fire over the bridge. The car wasn't on fire. I was. They managed to throw an oxygen tank and causing it to blow up before Cordell can back up on the other disabled vehicle. The canister goes off, blowing up the car. Later, the charred corpse of Cordell is rolled into a morgue next to the burned remains of Katie. With the lone coroner, who rolled Cordell into the morgue, is busy on his computer. The camera pans to Katie's hand, which shows Cordell's hand moving over to hold Katie's, implying he again survived. So Cordell, look, in terms of physicality, he's probably much stronger than your normal individual. Obviously, he's a superhuman zombie monster. But it really seems that his real, he can use weapons with no problem, all that. But it really seems like his real abilities stem from the fact that he cannot be killed. Of course, to be fair, nothing seems to have happened to the extreme. He hasn't been blown to pieces or anything like that. He's been caught in explosions multiple times, set afire, shrapnel, all that. But he just doesn't seem to long term put him down. It hinders him. Now let's be clear that it hinders him. It will knock him out. He can clearly be knocked out temporarily. And so he can definitely be immobilized, but he can't be killed, at least not by these levels apparently of explosion and damage, because we haven't again seen that he can be decapitated, dismembered, anything like that, and see what effect that has on him. As far as dismembering him, blowing him to the teeniest of bits he could, just pure incineration, literally burn his head to nothing. That probably could work, but we never see that in the films to confirm that. So it's a tough little, how do we go over with that assumption? Or a pure stab to the head, things like that. Headshots probably, blowing his head off would probably do it, because that's how most zombies get taken out. Hell, doing that to Jason works too, believe it or not. Granted, you need to completely blow his head off, mind you, and be sure that there's nothing left, because Jason's healed from more, at least depending on your variation on Jason, he's healed from a lot more than that. But no, here's the thing. And I don't know why I'm talking about Jason. We're talking about Michael Myers. Jason's regeneration, especially in the comics, is God knows and powerful, but even it has limitations. But anyway, Michael Myers. Now here's the thing I want to get out of the case right, or get out of the gate right now. Anytime I bring Michael Myers into who would win, I do get someone who comments that Michael Myers is the boogeyman, or he's not human, da-da-da-da. To set the record straight right now, because we have Halloween and then the new Halloween timeline. We have Halloween 2 timeline. We have the Halloween 2, and then 4 through 6 timeline. The Halloween 1, H2O, and Resurrection timeline, and the Rob Zombie timeline. Now, luckily, most of that doesn't really affect the other. Well, look, we're going to basically just compile Michael ultimately into one version of Michael. All the ups and all the upside and downs. We'll at best use 2 versions. We'll use basically all the supernatural Michael, the 1 through 6 Michael, and then we'll use the Rob Zombie Michael. So with the general Michael, he is human. I know people like to try to argue he's not human. No, he's human. What happened is the Cult of Thorn, God, those movies got turned into bullshit really quick. The Cult of Thorn basically made him their, enforcer, if you will. Their, if I remember correctly, what did they make him exactly? The Cult, where is the damn Cult of Thorn crap here? And yeah, don't. And I say crap. It is crap. Meanwhile, new family. Da 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 da. New blood. The resident. Da da. Where's the Colt of Thorn Bull? Colt of Thorn Bull. Court of Thorn Bull. Point being, the Cult of Thorn made him like their enforcer, if you will, like this guardian type thing, which enhanced him with a whole bunch of supernatural abilities, superhuman strength, stealth, endurance, durability of an unknown limit. Has been known to be able to lift a large tombstone out of the ground and carry it long distances by hand, penetrate an adult human skull with his thumb easily. That's actually not impossible, but it's very difficult. Hold and strangle an adult human male with one arm effortlessly. Impale an adult human male through a solid wooden door with a blunt object and rip apart a human male limb with his bare limb and his bare hands, among other feats. He can sneak up individuals without attracting attention or making a noise. He can survive injury that would result in normal human death, such as being shot or stabbed multiple times in internal organs, brain and heart included. He survived gunshots more than enough times, along with any other form of impalement, high voltage electrocution, or severe scalds all over his body. He might have a healing factor that will enable him to regenerate tissue or even vital organs such as skin and eyes. The healing factor makes a lot more sense, like a supernatural healing factor, because again, we know in the second one he didn't just get set on fire; he got his eyes taken out by Lori. So for him to be able to come back in the fourth through sixth one and have that connected in some way to the other ones, to the second one, then it would mean that he has to be able to regenerate on some level, similar to a Jason or a Wolverine, if you will. But yeah, he's been seen. Shrug off gunshots is not the right term. But here's the thing. Yeah, he's regenerated from all that, but that's not to say that he probably doesn't feel pain. He almost certainly feels pain. And we've seen that bullets and stuff, they do slow him down. Honestly, you get a big enough gun, you could probably just blow his head off and you're good. No one ever seems to be able to blow his head off. And yeah, he survived shots to the head, like the heart and the brain. But again, supernatural healing factor, you don't go the Jason X route or Jason Goes to Hell route with Michael ever in terms of like blowing into pieces. So it seems that fire or decapitation could kill him, since in the H2O timeline ignores the Curse of Thorn and the Cult. His ability to withstand injury is never really explained. His superhuman abilities could be granted to him by the magical nature of the Curse of Thorn, as the cult members assert the evil never dies, but it remains unconfirmed. However, it's supported by Samuel Loomis when he states that hell would not accept Michael, meaning that Michael cannot die, be killed, or even enter the afterlife in any way. Yeah, but it's Loomis. Loomis, despite being right, was also a little crazy. And the final timeline, he was able to withstand several injuries, such as multiple gunshot wounds. He seemingly has supernatural strength despite being 60 years old. No, he's actually a lot older than that. If we're going by the original timeline, no, he's about 70 years old, man. Actually, no, he's only about 25 if I think about that right. So no, yeah, he's about 65-ish. Yeah, okay. Still, about being 60 years old. And he's still able to fight and kill a much larger, decades younger man and let the female reporter in the air with one arm. He also displays extreme durability. He is shot in the shoulder by a handgun, shot by a rifle in the neck, struck across the head with a crowbar, hit by an SUV at full speed, gets his fingers blown off, but still continues unabated. This is old man Michael. He also displays a premature tolerance, he has a super high pain tolerance. What the hell is that word? Preternatural? Preternatural? Is that a word? What kind of word is that? I'm just going to say he has an extremely high pain tolerance. He's probably survived being trapped in a burning house with no discernible way to escape. The teleportation thing. It's implied that Michael Myers has some form of teleportation, which explains him being able to always be capable of sneaking up on people that are running away, even though he can only walk. What is that about, by the way? Bull crap, he can only walk. What is it with the walking? Like, Freddy runs at least. Granted, Freddy can do whatever he wants in Dream, but Freddy still runs. Usually ends up outrunning people, even though he only walks. He can catch up to people by teleporting. It's probably just that he's got insane endurance, and he's actually probably moving a lot faster than normal. Like, we never see him run. That's the thing. We never see Jason or Michael run, with the exception of the rebooted Jason. We see him run. I can't remember if we see Rob Zombie, Michael Myers run. I don't think we do. Well, at least not as an adult. Anyway, so yeah, and then the Rob Zombie one. The thing about the Rob Zombie one is this: it's implied there might be supernatural things going on with the Rob Zombie version of Mike Myers, but the problem is that could easily, like, the stuff we see with like the woman he sees and stuff like that, that can easily just be chalked to the psychosis more than supernatural. So I don't really count that at all. In terms of supernatural, as far as I can tell, yeah, he's just a really strong monster of a man. So who wins in a fight between these guys? Well, this is interesting because neither of these guys really have anything that can take the other out. And that's giving Cordell all of his, like, firearms and stuff. We know firearms aren't very effective. I mean, they can slow Michael down, but they're not effective at keeping him down. Unless you were to literally blow his brains out, then maybe that would work. Because even if he has a healing factor, I mean, it's never been seen to this. It's never been on display to the point where he could regenerate a limb or something. That would have actually been kind of interesting to see him, like, lose an arm or something and then be going around armless and killing people. That actually would have been cool to see. So if these two met in a fight, what would happen? Well, honestly, it's a matter of chasing victims around and coming in contact with each other. These two meet in combat. Strength-wise, it's hard to tell. I think I would actually give the strength advantage to Michael Myers. But in terms of actual combat, we know, the little I've seen of Maniac Cop, we know that he's faster than Michael. So he's also more tactical. He's a police officer, and he's actually more intelligent in terms of, his tactics. So we know he could probably outgun Michael. The question is, would he be able to actually blow Michael's head off? That's the only way I can really see it. Blowing is basically blowing him in half, blowing out his entire chest, or blowing his head off. Is he capable of completely? Capable of doing that? I imagine that Michael would probably, get some good flashes in. But just as Cordell doesn't have a lot to truly kill Michael only ever really carries around a freaking giant-ass knife as his main weapon. He uses other stuff, too. Absolutely. He'll use a pitchfork, a rake, he'll use just about anything that's available. A hammer. But the main thing he always carries is that very large butcher's knife. The problem is that isn't going to do much. It might piss him off, Cordell. It might even hurt him, but that's not going to do much. And then Michael might try to maybe snap his neck, twist it around. But Cordell could probably just fix that and keep going. Cordell does it to Michael. Here's the thing. That's another issue. We never see, like, these horror figures like Jason or Michael, like we've seen Jason do this to people, where he literally, in Freddy vs. Jason, where he literally took that college dude in the cornfield, just twisted his neck completely around, just see that, son of a bitch, and just pokes him down. I love Freddy vs. Jason. It's very cheesy in terms of, like, its main cast, but the Freddy vs. Jason stuff is fun as hell. But yeah, we've never seen anyone do that to them. I would imagine Jason could survive that. I don't know Michael Myers could survive that, because that's literally breaking the spine, right? That's severing the spine right at the neck. So if, like, Michael tries to do that, Cordell probably gets up, because Cordell is a legitimate zombie. But Cordell probably just gets, probably even just shoots Michael, or blows him back temporarily with a shotgun, fixes his head, and then, just starts firing on Michael, keeping him on the ground, just blow it. You basically wasting every shot he has. Michael is, like, on the ground, then he gets up and just grabs him again. These two are duking it out. He tries to stab Cordell in the face. That pisses Cordell off. And then, Cordell just grabs Michael's face this time and then just does the same thing to Michael. Now, if if Michael is capable of surviving something like that, I still think he's down for the count in this fight, because the level of healing it would take to come back from something like that, I don't know Michael Myers has a healing factor like that, assuming he even has a healing factor, which it seems very likely he has some sort of supernatural based healing factor. So I don't. And how long would it take? Because he was in a coma for like a year in between one of the movies. He got rescued by some guy who actually like took care of him, woke up a year later, and then killed the guy. So I don't know if, it's a little difficult to kind of pinpoint it. But I don't think if Michael Myers survives it, he's getting back up. That's the big thing. That I think is the main thing here, is that yes, he might be able to survive that neck twist. No, it's not. He's not going to just get back up and fight again. I think when that happens, Michael's down for the fight, and then Maniac Cop walks away, or Cordell walks away. So if you're asking me who I think ultimately wins in this showdown, I think I'm going to go with Matthew Cordell, the Maniac Cop, on the basis that while neither of these guys really have any weaponry that will permanently put the other down, Cordell has more effective weaponry for his opponent in terms of firearms against Michael to at least hinder him more greatly than Michael's one knife is going to hinder Cordell. So I'm going to go Cordell on this. Ultimately, that's my decision. Cordell, Maniac Cop, takes a fight between him and Michael Myers. Ultimately, though, what do you think? I am completely okay with being wrong on this. Again, horror icons, at least when I know them, I have no problem doing a who would win on. I usually have enough information on them. When it's something a bit more obscure like Maniac Cop, I'll admit, it's a little difficult for me to give a more comprehensive answer, because it's difficult. It's difficult when I don't have a coherent timeline of things or a coherent memory of the character, especially if I don't have a memory of the character. But yes, from what I found, from what I know, I am going to go Cordell over Michael Myers. But let me know what you think. You think it's Cordell or Michael Myers? What's your reason behind it? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.